All right, let's move on to some breaking news that's coming in. A PIL on deaths due to starvation over the insistence of linking Aadhaar with public distribution system of ration. The Supreme Court has agreed to examine this PIL that seeks investigation into deaths and compensation for victims' families. It cites 30 such documented cases from states including Jharkhand, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. That's the latest information that we are getting now, the public interest litigation as far as deaths due to starvation over insistence of linking Aadhaar with PDS ration. The Supreme Court has now agreed to examine the PIL that seeks investigation into these deaths. Let's go across to Meenakshi for more details. Meenakshi, this is extremely important, especially in light of the Aadhaar hearing itself that is going on.
Well, indeed, Avni, this is an instance which has been highlighted in the past by even somebody like Professor John Gray, as our viewers will recall, who is very, very involved on ground insofar as right to food schemes are concerned, especially with regards to Jharkhand. But like you rightly mentioned, Avni, this particular PIL has cited 30 such documented deaths from various states, including Jharkhand, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh and UP. And what is very noteworthy about this plea is that it will highlight aspects of exclusion, which is contrary to the Government of India's arguments in the constitutional validity matter before the Constitution bench, which is analyzing the various aspects of the Aadhaar Act. So in this backdrop, this assumes a lot of significance, with the Supreme Court now agreeing to examine this particular PIL, which again, like you rightly referred to, is seeking investigation into the various deaths that have happened, these 30 documented deaths, the circumstances surrounding these deaths, and the allegation that the PIL is making, Avni, is the fact that these deaths have happened as a result of starvation over insistence of various authorities on linking Aadhaar with the PDS ration distribution system. So this is important, and anything that the Supreme Court will say or observe on this will go on to have an impact in the foreseeable future.
Absolutely, Meenakshi. Stay with us. Let's move on to the other breaking that we are tracking at this point. The Supreme Court has asked the centre to look into the issue of diesel fuel pricing so that low pricing does not act as an incentive to purchase mid-segment passenger vehicles. The Supreme Court observations to Government of India exercise to look into diesel pricing is required because it's more polluting fuel. Distinction can be made for commercial vehicles and passenger vehicles. Meenakshi, as far as this particular case is concerned, what are the Supreme Court's main observations?
Well, Avni, again, our viewers will recall that pollution is an issue which has featured prominently from time to time in discourse, especially at least in the apex court. And it was before the Supreme Court where we had seen the Government of India's intentions, where it had tried to showcase the bona fides about introduction of clean fuel and also clean vehicles which used this fuel. This particular policy was preponed from 2020 to 2018, Avni. But that apart, today, like you rightly referred to, the Supreme Court is asking for the government to explore further the possibility, one, of introducing BS6 fuel in 13 metro cities by April 2019. But that apart, like you rightly mentioned, the top court is also concerned about the diesel pricing, because diesel is considered to be dirty fuel, and the Supreme Court has asked for the government to look in greater detail on the issue of diesel fuel pricing so that the low price does not act as an incentive to purchase mid-segment passenger vehicles. So a lot of concern areas which the court is looking into, and also important observations to the Government of India as another step forward towards curbing the growing menace of pollution. Avni.
All right. Thanks, Meenakshi, for getting us those details as far as both those stories are concerned.